This is your Hdsr Sports Report, the Victor Valley's only weekly action highlights sports program, covering our area's schools, teams, athletes, and sporting events. Valu Quality Truck Bodies presents quarterbacks from a number of high desert teams posting quality campaigns and leading their team to a winning season. Two are adding to their accomplishments by advancing in the CIF playoffs. Atalanto's Angel Ochoa leads all area quarterbacks in passing yardage, his 160 yards in the Saints' first-round rout of Ontario, bringing his total to 2,257 yards. The 5'11", 188-pound senior threw for 2,557 yards and leading the Saints to the CIF Division 13 title his junior year. He has 24 TD passes so far this season, entering the second-round CIF game at home Friday against Moreno Valley. Angel Ochoa has completed 53% of his passes this year. He has been intercepted 9 times, a stat lowering his quarterback rating to 111.7. We will get into how this quarterback rating is determined in a minute. Serrano's Parker Chafee personifies efficiency. Parker Chafee has thrown for 1,485 yards and only 2 interceptions in 119 attempts. The 6', 180-pound senior has directed the Diamondbacks to 11 straight victories, entering round 2 of the playoffs. The Diamondbacks are at Burbank Friday. His quarterback rating, 134.3. The formula for rating factors in attempts, completions, yards, touchdowns, and interceptions. Parker Chafee has 22 touchdown passes so far this season. Apple Valley's Jaden Max Denigal's quarterback rating is 135.3. based on 120 completions in 176 attempts, that's 68%, for 2,154 yards and 33 touchdowns. His top single-game production was 434 yards against Sultana on 15 of 16 and 6 TD passes that included his longest, 80 yards. He also threw 6 TD passes against Burroughs. J. Max Denigal launched his Sun Devils career throwing 3 TD passes against Silverado in his first game. He is only the second sophomore to start at quarterback in the school's 53-year history of football. Dave Giancola, the other, in the inaugural 1967 season under Coach Sam Samaniego. The 6'4", 210-pound J. Max Denigal has already received scholarship offers from Auburn and Georgia. 6'4", 210 is large for a high school quarterback, but J. Max Denigal is not the largest among quarterbacks from high desert schools. Sultana's 6'4", 250-pound Nathaniel Glass carries that distinction. He has been Sultana's starting QB the past 2 seasons, completing 56% of his passes in 2019, his junior year. Nathaniel Glass led the Sultans in scoring in 2019 with 5 rushing touchdowns. Another underclassman poised to have a promising senior season in 2020 is Tyler Karen of Granite Hills. The 6'4", 185-pound Tyler Karen completed 58% of his passes as a junior, throwing for 18 touchdowns and 1,445 yards for Coach Alex Gonzalez 5-5 Cougars. 5 interceptions in 170 attempts factored into a 108.6 quarterback rating for Tyler Karen. Silverado quarterback Jesse Murillo threw for an almost identical 1,447 yards his junior season. The 5'8", 155-pound signal caller, shown here in the Summer Passing League, had 15 touchdown passes for the Hawks. His 9 interceptions lowered his quarterback rating to 95.3. I'm uncertain what the highest possible quarterback rating might be for high school quarterbacks, but I can tell you, when Apple Valley's Ethan Peratt completed 3 of 3 passes this season, 2 for touchdowns and a total 82 yards, his quarterback rating is 177.1. The versatile Ethan Peratt caught 6 of J-Max Dinigal's touchdown passes, and Ethan Peratt shall be back for his senior season as a Sun Devil in 2020. When Jeff Widener rewrote the Sun Devils record book in 2018, his quarterback rating was 134, based on completing 61% of his passes, 188 completions in 311 attempts, for 3,629 yards and 53 touchdowns. Jeff Widener was intercepted 5 times. By comparison, Silverado's Levi Taylor threw for 50 touchdowns his 2017 senior season, breaking all Silverado offensive records, 3,902 passing yards on 205 completions in 355 attempts, 58%, but he was picked off 15 times, holding his quarterback rating down at 117.7. Levi Taylor is in his sophomore season quarterbacking at NAIA Mid-America Nazarene University in Kansas. Jeff Widener is seeing varsity action as a true freshman quarterbacking at Division I Northern Arizona University in Flagstaff. For Coach Gali Wadood's Adelanto Saints, it is full speed ahead into the CIF semifinals. Angel Ochoa throws 3 TD passes, including this toss to Joshua Lorick for a CIF playoff record 98.5 yard scoring play in the Saints' 36-3 second-round win over Moreno Valley. Marshawn Buchanan scores 3 touchdowns, 1 a touchdown reception, 2 others on plays like this, scoring from 26 yards out.
Marshawn, what did you like best about the way the Saints played tonight?
I like our intensity. Our defense came out and capitalized. Our offense played as a team. Quarterback made throws, lineman blocked, and we just came out here and got the dub.
Keep it going. Congratulations.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Appreciate it. Yes, sir.
The 13-yard Angel Ochoa to Marshawn Buchanan TD collaboration puts Adelanto's first 6 points on the Julian Weaver Stadium scoreboard. It comes on the first play of the second quarter.
Angel, at the outset, what was the plan of attack tonight against this Vikings team?
The plan of attack tonight was just to put the ball in the air, and then when we had to, put it on the ground, and then we just executed what we had to do.
The Angel Ochoa to Rashawn Ramsey connection with the brilliant exhibition of yards after catch comes 3.5 minutes before halftime, the scoring play covering 37 yards. Marshawn Buchanan caps the scoring with this 8-yard run on the last play of the third quarter. Adelanto goes to Orange Vista for their semifinals game against the team they beat in the Division 13 championship game last season. These hot-off-the-press action highlights and sound bites are presented by the Community Table Restaurant in the Holiday Inn in Victorville. Stay tuned. Extended action highlights, standout defensive plays, and additional sound bites are coming up straight ahead on our next Video Sports Online report. Your High Desert Sports Report is brought to you by Down Home Grill in Victorville on the corner of Bear Valley Road and Ridgecrest Drive. Bid fast and last, sold on supporting High Desert Sports. Midway Home Solutions in Victorville, providing highest quality home appliances at discount prices for 6 decades. Valu Quality Truck Body, family owned and operated since 1954. Valu manufactures state-of-the-art truck bodies for the construction industry nationwide. Greiner Buick GMC in Victorville. Greiner always has the best damn used cars, period. Iwanzak Law Firm, trial lawyers for serious problem. Desert High Transportation, reliable and dependable non-emergency transportation for ambulatory and wheelchair passengers. High Desert Sports Training, where athletes of all ages, all sports, girls and boys, improve speed, quickness, endurance, and strength on state-of-the-art equipment. And by the Community Table Restaurant in the Holiday Inn in Victorville, supporting High Desert teams, athletes, and sports programs. Atalanto's defense holds Moreno Valley to a second quarter field goal in the Saints' 36-3 second round CIF victory. The visiting Vikings come in averaging 36 points a game. A number of Saints defenders turn in monster games, including season tackles leader Ricky Lee Medina, 8. The junior middle linebacker averages 8.5 tackles per game. Right behind in season tackles is 22, Joquan Banks, who blocks this Moreno Valley desperate punt on the bounce in the end zone for a Saints safety. Joquan Banks averages 7.5 tackles a game and has recorded over 20 tackles for a loss. The senior outside linebacker later blocks this Vikings punt that sets up the Saints' last touchdown of the night. Finally coming up with the blocked kick, here is Ricardo Ballesteros, 18.
Good job, baby.
Darius Gibson, 42, also averages 7.5 tackles a game. The 6'2", 185-pound senior defensive end leads the Saints in solo tackles, adding to his 15 tackles for a loss coming in. Junior strong safety Brandon Jones, 2, is coming off a game of his life performance the week before the Saints' opening round rout of Ontario. Brandon Jones is one of 9 Atalanto defenders with over 24 solo tackles on the year. Cyrus Jones, 98, has quite a defensive sequence here. This is second half action. The very large junior defensive tackle displays his lateral pursuit in throwing the scrambling Vikings quarterback down. On the very next play, with Moreno Valley deep in their own territory, Cyrus Jones drops back, right place, right time, finding the Vikings pass attempt headed right for his lap for the first pass interception of his career. Cyrus Jones lists at 6'4", 220. Atalanto also gets a pass interception this night from Hosea Stokes. The Saints turn in a very significant goal line stand when the outcome is still very much in balance. This is midway through the third quarter. The Vikings have recovered a fumble and set up in the red zone. First down at the 10. This is second and goal at the 10, following Ricky Lee Medina's tackle for no gain on first down. Watch Hosea Stokes. 1. He meets the Moreno Valley ball carrier trying to cut back against the grain. This leaves the Vikings facing a third and goal at the 6. Hosea Stokes, a senior, all CIF last season on both defense and offense. As mentioned, Moreno Valley comes in averaging 6 touchdowns, 36 points a game. This is the Vikings' deepest threat to enter the end zone this night. The short pass completion produces a gain of only 1 yard, bringing up 4th and goal at the 5. An incomplete pass on 4th down, and the Saints take over at their own 5. This precedes the most exciting play of the night for the Saints. But before that, this very unusual penalty. Not often the quarterback is called for holding, but that is the case, bringing the ball back to the 2.5-yard line. Then an illegal procedure penalty, half the distance, has it just outside the 1. Angel Ochoa drops back, shoots the quick toss to Joshua Lorick, who grabs it at the 20. The 5'11", 162-pound junior races past the last defender and into the CIF record books. Longest touchdown pass in playoffs history. We want to call it 99 yards. Angel Ochoa to Josh Lorick, November 15th, 2019. The 27th touchdown pass of the year for Angel Ochoa, one these players and Saints fans shall never forget. Angel Ochoa's first scoring pass of the night This 25-yard aerial on a 3rd and 13. Excellent catch by Marshawn Buchanan. It puts the Saints up 6-0 on the first play of the second quarter. The senior signal caller, who leads all High Desert quarterbacks in passing yardage this season, knew he would have to take to the air against the Vikings.
The plan of attack tonight was just to put the ball in the air, and then when we had to, put it on the ground, and then we just executed what we had to do.
Atalanto's first scoring drive included this Angel Ochoa to Josh Lorick connection, the same play that would later result in the 99-yard touchdown. Angel Ochoa has thrown TD passes to 7 different receivers this year, much success and many yards thanks to what's called yak yards after catch, expertly demonstrated by Rashawn Ramsey on this 37-yard scoring play, the Saints' second touchdown of the night. A junior, Rashawn Ramsey is Atalanto's leading receiver on the season, 35 catches on the year. This is his 7th touchdown pass. Amari McCullough leads the Saints in touchdown receptions with 8. The senior wide receiver is on the receiving end of the scrambling Angel Ochoa pass in the end zone for the 2-point conversion that extends Atalanto's lead to 14-3 with 3.5 minutes to go before halftime. Moreno Valley has trouble all night on long snaps. This one sails over the punter's head. The punter doing a great job trying to get the kick off, but Joquan Banks is there to block it and send it out of the end zone for the safety that makes the score 16-3 at intermission. What does Coach Gali Wadood say to his players at the half?
He just told us to keep our foot on their neck and then step up our game because we're better than what we played in the first half, and then that's what we did.
What coach tell you at halftime?
He just told us keep our head up and keep our foot on the pedal and don't stop working.
This wild and crazy play had ended the first half. Moreno Valley's ultra-talented sophomore free safety Elijah Kelsey picks off the pass, his 2nd interception of the game and 6th of the year. He runs it back to midfield. Luke Tuwala knocks it loose. A mad scramble for the fumble. Do the Saints have it? Fumbled again. A Viking recovers. Oh yes, Coach Gali Wadood at halftime also wishes the Saints would avoid further turnovers. Marshawn Buchanan said, keep our foot on the pedal, and the Washington State commit and his O-line put the pedal to the metal and floorboard it to start the second half. This 19-yard touchdown, the second play of the third quarter, Marshawn Buchanan's 15th touchdown scored in 2019. His 16th comes on the last play of the third quarter. The Gabriel Perez extra point is good. 54 seconds into the second half. It's 23-3 Saints. Well, Saints special teams play magnificently this night. Moreno Valley's do not. The high snap from center forces the punter to take a step back, giving Joquan Banks time to block the punt and create another scramble for the loose ball. Regardless who comes up with it, it will be Saints ball. Ricardo Ballesteros makes the recovery. He is a senior outside linebacker. Atalanto's ball on the 11. 2 plays later from the 9, Saints touchdown number 5 on the night, and the 3rd scored by Marshawn Buchanan. The 5'11", 178-pound senior carries 9 times this night for 89 yards and tells us what he likes best about the way his team played.
I like our intensity. Our defense came out and capitalized. Our offense played as a team. Quarterback made throws, lineman blocked, and we just came out here and got the dub.
Same question asked of Angel Ochoa.
I like best that everyone came together and we all played as one, and we got the job done.
Congratulations. Keep it going.
Thank you.
Bid fast and last. Sold on supporting High Desert sports. Bid fast and last. Liquidation of government entities, vehicles, firearms, estates, antiques, fine jewelry, coins, and more. Bid online at bidfastandlast.com.
Ready to kick tires, start fires, kick ass, take names, and rock and roll.
Rams Players of the Year showcase their talents in BVC's final game of the season. Offensive Player of the Year Samaji Brewer scores 3 TDs against Antelope Valley. Defensive Player of the Year Logan Graham scoring his first touchdown of his collegiate career. The Rams' Player of the Year on offense is Samaje Brewer, the sophomore wide receiver from Lee's Summit in Kansas City. Led the team in scoring with 10 touchdowns. He is listed at 6'2", 185. Samaje Brewer catches 6 passes for 116 yards in his final game. Of his 10 touchdown receptions his sophomore season, thrice they come in threes. 3 TD passes in games against Santa Ana and Santa Monica, preceding his hat trick in the season finale against Antelope Valley. Defense against the run, the strong suit this year for the Victor Valley College Rams. Defensive Player of the Year, Logan Graham, caps his freshman season, scoring his first touchdown. As Messiah Williams creates the fumble, Logan Graham picks it up and carries it in for VVC's final touchdown of 2019. Logan Graham registers 13 sacks on the year, 9 in conference play. The 6'1", 260-pound first-year Ram from Gunnersville, Alabama, led the conference in sacks. Logan Graham is the Rams' tackles leader on the year. His 41 tackles include 18 tackles for a loss. The Rams' defense accounts for the team's first touchdown of the game and final touchdown of the season. Messiah Williams picks off this Marauders pass and returns it 50 yards to put VVC on the board against Antelope Valley. Messiah Williams, 6'3", 180-pound freshman from Newark, New Jersey. Rams special teams turn in long-distance kickoff returns twice. Flint, Michigan freshman Simon Kemp with strong second effort breaking a tackle and carrying across midfield. Amir Simpson runs this kickoff back 93 yards all the way down to the 1, preceding VVC's second touchdown of the night, but one of a number of outstanding individual efforts this season by the freshman from Atlanta, Georgia. A number of Rams who attended local high schools make good showings in the last game of the season. Darius Allen, the former Silverado Hawk, carrying for 5 yards here. Darius Allen has scored on a 79-yard pass reception the week prior against San Bernardino Valley. That eclipsed his previous longest TD of the year, this 46-yard sprint against College of the Desert. Tayshawn Brown turns what looks to be a loss on the play into a 5-yard gain. Tayshawn Brown was an All-Desert Sky League running back in 2018 at Granite Hills. He is 5'9", 225. Former Victor Valley Jackrabbit Andy Garcia, 22, grabbing this pass from quarterback Austin Shriver. Austin Shriver graduated from Granite Hills in 2018. Problems and issues plaguing VVC from Game 1 forward, playing a problematic part in the final game. Snap judgments, as in bad snaps from center. The low snap leading to the turnover preceding Antelope Valley's first touchdown. High snaps rear their ugly head twice this game. Unforced errors leading to 2-point safeties for the visiting Marauders. Pass defense, another area the Rams look to improve upon next season. Antelope Valley rings up 7 touchdown passes this game against VVC's secondary. Victor Valley College finishes the season under first-year coach Patrick Lord, going 4-6.
Griner Buick GMC brings you Victor Valley College Sports Online Reports, presented by Griner Buick GMC in Victorville. Griner supports Victor Valley College Rams.
Your High Desert Sports Report is brought to you by Down Home Grill in Victorville on the corner of Bear Valley Road and Ridgecrest Drive.
Go, 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 go!
Bid fast and last. Sold on supporting High Desert Sports. Midway Home Solutions in Victorville, providing highest quality home appliances at discount prices for 6 decades. Valu Quality Truck Body, family owned and operated since 1954. Valu manufactures state-of-the-art truck bodies for the construction industry nationwide. Greiner Buick GMC in Victorville. Greiner always has the best damn used cars, period. Iwanzak Law Firm, trial lawyers for serious problem. Desert High Transportation, reliable and dependable non-emergency transportation for ambulatory and wheelchair passengers. High Desert Sports Training, where athletes of all ages, all sports, girls and boys, improve speed, quickness, endurance, and strength on state-of-the-art equipment. And by the Community Table Restaurant in the Holiday Inn in Victorville. Amid High Desert Quality of Life Survey conversations, Joseph W. Brady reveals insight into an important election issue involving Spring Valley Lake residents in 2020.
The association has 4,215 lots between Victorville and the Apple Valley Equestrian Center. It's about 92% built out. It has a 7-member association board. So you have a 7-member board. And then you have a separate entity outside called CSA 64, County Service Area 64. So our CSA supplies water and sewer, the cheapest water of anybody in the region. I mean, I always feel bad for all my friends in Apple Valley because they're paying so much. But we actually have by far the cheapest water around. So there's been a proposal, there's been a group of volunteers, they're all doing this on a volunteer basis, that have gone out and said, are we better off to create another level of government to take over water, to take over the parks, to take over sewer and street sweeping and trash collection? And can we do it for a cheaper price and save the homeowner some money? So that's where I think the $64 question comes. So back in late April, I was able to obtain a copy of the report from LAFCO. We've gone through it on a couple of occasions, and candidly, just haven't found it compelling enough to say to me, if something's not broken, don't go fix it. And most people that are hearing this or looking at this, that know me know I don't have much patience for entities that are inefficient. I don't have much patience for governmental entities that can't show measurable results. That Robert Lovingood, who's apparently a big supporter of this, is the one that has really termed the measurable results. So what I would ask him, and I would ask everybody else, do we need another level of government? So one of the leaders of this group I know and have a tremendous amount of respect for, and I won't name who it is on this because of my respect for him. And we went through all the reasons, the cheapest water, you can't get any cheaper. What's going to happen if there's three wells that service Spring Valley Lake? One of them has recently been upgraded. When those casings go out and they have to be rebuilt, it only costs about $1.2 million to $1.3 million. A lot of money. Okay, so where's that money going to come from? CSA 64, if something goes wrong, they can spread it across their other entities. They can they can borrow from other entities quickly. If we're a standalone group. So then I said to this person who I just have a dire amount of respect for, I said, okay, so explain to me that we're going to have a general manager, we're going to pay $150,000 a year, plus a 40% override for benefits. So when that whole thing starts, we know where that keeps going. The costs never go down; they continually go up. That person's going to want to raise, undoubtedly. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. I'm capitalistic. We're going to have a water manager at $100,000 a year. We're going to have a sewer manager at $100,000 a year. Okay, so now we're going to have 3 people in there at $350,000 a year, plus a 40% override. Why are we doing this if it's not broken? So I think that what's going to happen over the next couple of months, this group has continual hearings. I've heard from people that they had a hearing within the last month that some people thought went well and some people didn't think went well, and I think that people are really going to want full disclosure about why do we want to change if there's nothing wrong. And again, I'm not one that necessarily loves government. I appreciate working with good government. I mean, I love working with Rod Yankee down at the city of Hesperia and Keith Metz over at I mean, we got great relationships with all the cities and even with people in the county. But there are some governmental entities that are just not efficient. You take Mojave Water Agency, probably one of the best around. AQMD, one of the best around. I mean, we've got some great entities out there. Why would we want to go change them if there's nothing wrong with them? So I just don't get it. And I don't think it's good to further other people's political interests or their financial interests to do it if something's not broken.
This is your High-Desert Sports Report, the Victor Valley's only weekly action highlights sports program covering our area's schools, teams, athletes, and sporting events.